It's a spooky time here at the Drunk College, and it is I, Carly, one of your lead professors. I had also drank a root beer spiked seltzer, and now I'm drinking water. Alex, what are you drinking?
I have like a hard lemonade, but I drank a lot. This is my second hard lemonade after a margarita and sparkling wine, so I'm feeling it.
Classic Alex. I'm drinking plain old Diet Coke. Not Diet Coke. That nursery rhyme was just in my head. It's regular Coke. I'm not a moron. Brandon?
I haven't had anything to drink in actually like 2 hours, so I'm wondering if I should probably hydrate soon. But in solidarity of Kelsey's condition, which inhibits alcohol consumption at this moment in time, I too am restricted to our non-alcoholic stuff options.
You just took like 10 minutes to say that you're drinking water.
I'm Steve. I've only had like a single beer and I'm tired, so I may fall asleep during this no matter what. So
Am I the only one who's like drunk?
Yeah.
probably.
No, hi, I'm Leah, and I got weed, and I'm just vibing, you know how it is, and love and peace, man. Oh, I had wine.
All right, who's ready to do cryptids?
Hell yeah.
We're doing them.
I don't like the way that was said, but
Just Mothman.
we can see. We got a sample.
Okay.
We got a sampling list. All right, that can be a contest at the end. Which cryptid would you want to hook up with most?
Oh, we should rate them.
Yes.
Rating 1 out
Cryptid.
of 10 would fuck.
Wait, can we do a rating for each cryptid?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck them.
All right, excellent. Let's get spooky. All right, so what is a cryptid, you ask my fellow proletariats? So, a cryptid is an animal whose existence is unsubstantiated by science. It doesn't necessarily mean that cryptids are inherently supernatural or anything like that. They are just simply, for all intents and purposes, animals reported to exist that do not have any strong evidence of their existence. And as a matter of fact, quite a few animals that we have today were once considered cryptids, if you will. And every animal that you see on this slide were creatures that were once considered cryptids. Of course, in our left-hand corner, we got Big Monkey, the gorillas. For a long time, it was thought that they were just rumored creatures, and gorillas were actually discovered shockingly recently. Mountain gorillas weren't discovered until 1902, and the other gorilla species were only discovered a few decades earlier. And considering how Bigfoot and a lot of those other guys are just basically hairy hominids, a gorilla doesn't seem like that much of a stretch for that kind of stuff. So you can sort of imagine why they'd seem like they could be made up. But the oarfish, it's believed that a lot of sea monster sightings were because of them. It's a belief that a lot of sea monster sightings could have been spawned by oarfish, or they can get up to 12 meters long, and they have a pretty freaky appearance. So they could potentially have been because of sea monster sightings. The giant squid, unfortunately, that's a colossal squid in the picture, but I couldn't find a good enough picture of a giant squid, so there you go. Also, potential source of a lot of sea monster sightings, something that you feel like would be made up. Alex, why are you looking there of all places? He's wearing pants, but
It just looks very different compared to the rest of his body. It's like dark black and white stripes versus very bright black and white stripes, or like brown versus black and white stripes. Why can't you just see Kelsey type? Is it because they're sharing?
You can see the presenter typing.
Yeah, Okapi also, they were discovered very recently too. They weren't described by science until 1901. So they're one of the last big land critters discovered. Platypuses, someone thought they were literally just a weird taxidermy job when the first specimens were brought over to be studied in Europe. Komodo dragons, they did not have, it wasn't until like 1910 that Komodo dragons were identified outside of Indonesia, and it wasn't until the 1920s that Komodo dragons actually had live specimens brought back for science. Fun fact, the discovery of the Komodo dragon inadvertently led to the movie, the original King Kong. So we can thank Komodo dragons for that. Alex, you gave the big monkey big junk. Jokes on
Getting
you.
into all of that.
Joke's on you. Gorillas have the smallest penis in proportion to the body size of any primate.
Oh, they do? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
Everyone bully gorillas.
big monkey, but got small junk. And Alex, I'm pretty sure that's a female copy, but it doesn't look like you drew them on her. So, good job.
Well, I just stopped as you started saying. Wait, which one's female?
I think the copy, the one with the striped pants, I think she's female. The males have
So
bigger
this
eyes.
one's not.
The squid already has a penis. One of the tentacles is the penis.
Well, now it has an extra penis.
I thought that
Females.
squid specimen was female. I saw a documentary on her.
I don't know. Are you ready to switch the slide?
Yeah, y'all know what a cryptid is, so let's get spooktacular with other cryptid boys. Woo! NJ represent! Jersey Devil! Ah! All right, so say whatever you want about New Jersey, but we are the only state with a state demon since 1938. And basically I feel like it's a birthright for all people in New Jersey to know the origin story of the Jersey Devil. But for those of you from any out of state, basically the story goes that in 1735, Miss Leeds was having her 13th child. In the frustration and agonies of childbirth, she screamed that this child will be the devil. And after her delivery, it was said that it was an initially normal child who then began to shift into this monstrous aberration, which of course some accounts vary. First, some say that it killed everyone in the house, others say that it just terrified everyone. But regardless, it flew out of the chimney off into the South Jersey Pine Barrens.
You see, I heard that it flew out the window.
Sounds
Like
more
that bitch
badass
just
if it flew out the
screamed
chimney.
really like it just screamed. It was like ah, and it just like flew out the window.
Come on, we've all felt like that. We've all wanted to scream and jump out the window. This guy, I'm going out the chimney. The Jersey Devil is one of the reasons I appreciate it is that it's different from the appearance of a lot of the cryptids. It's got the kind of horse leg head and body shape, but it's got wings, kind of dinosaur like forearms, a forked tail, horse legs, little horns,
And it's got an origin story.
and it's got a badass origin story.
Wasn't that actually like a Quaker story? That's how it originally started out as with Ben Franklin.
Well, the Jersey Devil has been reported since 1735, so it's an origin story older than America. So it's possible that the Jersey Devil may have been something that was acknowledged by Benjamin Franklin.
But I think the connection with the Leeds family specifically comes with Ben Franklin. Like Ben Franklin was writing an almanac or like this specific individual who was high up, like a senator or political wise. And I think his last name was Lead. And he was writing an almanac. Benjamin Franklin wanted to get his almanac out first. And he, I think, belittled him and his family or something along those lines. And he said that his family, his mother produced the devil or something like that. And that's how the actual Jersey Devil story started. I might be a little off story.
I'm actually really glad you said that, because I was reading about how some people think the way it targeted the Leeds family may have been for like political reasons or like due to like some kind of like rivalry. Can you imagine that that being a way people tried to like blackmail you, saying, oh, she birthed a demon? Like, what?
And people believe that stuff back in the day because they didn't know any better.
Yeah, and the Jersey Devil, it wasn't just like something that was reported back then and then like faded out. The Jersey Devil is like has been pretty prominent over the centuries. Allegedly, I forget if he was a brother or uncle of Napoleon, was going on a hunting trip in New Jersey, and he reported seeing a weird creature flying. and he shot a cannon at it because he just had a cannon at the ready on a hunting trip. Yeah, this was in 1812, if I'm correct, sometime in the 1800s. And then the Jersey Devil actually got peak prominence or popularity in sightings in 1909, January of 1909. That's when that's when it was reported all over the place. Like, it was reported as far away as Delaware and Maryland and Philadelphia. There were over 1,000 reports in the span of time that occurred. Granted, a fair amount of them were probably due to mass hysteria, but nonetheless, businesses were closed. People didn't head out after dark. Schools were closed and canceled. Like, it was really like gripped the area. And actually, the most famous depiction, the one you see in the upper right-hand corner, appeared in the Philadelphia newspaper, the Philadelphia Bulletin, in 1909, when it was like describing the mayhem that was going on from all of it.
I love the proportions on the dude. It's just
Wait, Carly, your uncle saw it?
Yeah, he saw him. It was actually spotted up near us. Like, it was not in the Pine Barrens. I told my mom about it because he passed away in 2013, but he honestly, I think he truly believed he saw it. But we have some farmland by us, and there's a guy down the road. He grew up with him. His grandfather, he's named after, was a famous politician from New Jersey. He's not well known, but it's like if you look him up, you'll see his photo and you'll see that he's from where we're located. But he went over there one day and he was like out in the field with them, and then his friend like left, and then he went to look around, and he all of a sudden he just saw this creature, completely black creature, stand up in the middle of the field. And I said, like, what do you mean completely black creature? And he's like, no, it was a Jersey Devil. Like, he stood up and then just stared at me, and I was like, what? I can't remember if he said it flew away or if it, like, he turned back around and then it was just gone when he turned back around, but he said it was a good like 8-9 feet tall.
That's a bear, homie.
No, it wasn't we don't have bears by us. He said it was really skinny.
Bears in North Jersey?
We're not in North Jersey. We're in Central.
Central Jersey.
Bears have been reported in every New Jersey county.
There's bears in New Jersey.
He said it was
We very
skinny.
rarely see bears.
Yeah, but like a big black creature standing up, that's probably a bear.
Yeah, I'd say more likely bear than Jersey Devil, but
I think my uncle
Still.
would know the difference between a bear and a demonic. He said it like looked demonic.
At night when you're scared though?
It's not at night, it was during the day.
This is broad daylight?
Yeah.
You didn't take a picture of it?
No, because I think this was back in the 90s.
I mean, still creepy either way.
Yeah. Because I just remember he either said it flew away or he turned back around to get him, and then when he looked back, it was completely gone. Like, it just wasn't there. So even if it was a bear, where the fuck did it go? And it was a wide open field too.
Yeah, because I feel like with the general expression, my first thought would be bear, but then if it did anything out of the ordinary, then I would be like,
He said
what
it
else
was
could it be?
It was a long, black, skinny figure, and I think it had wings.
But that's what I mean, like skinny and wings is where I would start questioning. That's not a bear.
Just a lone ostrich escaped from Six Flags.
Yeah, an escaped ostrich.
Is it just me, or I feel like a bear flying off would be arguably as terrifying as seeing a Jersey Devil. So, but also, hey, look, I just thought of this now. Do the Thestrals from Harry Potter sound kind of like the Jersey Devil in like appearance and all that?
No, they're horses.
Yeah, the Jersey Devil's kind of horse-like.
But it's only got 2 legs.
What about those spirits from Harry Potter that float around? They're like really
Dementors?
creepy. Yeah, Dementors. I mean, Kim Kardashian looks like a Dementor, especially at the Met Gala.
I saw that. What else? You know what? My friend Josh Gant, he said allegedly his dad had an encounter of that however many years back. He was like I think hunting raccoons with hounds in the woods at night, and it was like he heard something following him, but whenever he paused, they would also follow, and like he could hear like the paces intensify as he was being followed. And like I don't know like what he saw that made him think it could have been the Jersey Devil. Regardless, if you hear something following you in the forest at night, I think that's going to be creepy. That's going to be terrifying, regardless of what.
It's probably just a serial killer.
The fuck?
Wait, Kelsey!
Alright,
Wait,
chill.
so wait,
Calm
who-
down.
You're leaving it there. I wasn't done yet.
Just heads up, guys. I'm going to bed. Got work tomorrow.
Bye,
night.
Steve. Have a good night.
Bye. And next.
What? So you were finished with that slide?
You changed. I wasn't done yet. I was
Yes, you
gonna-
were done. You didn't say you just. Okay, continue.
All right. Wait, did Leah leave?
I think so. Sometimes her internet cuts out.
Oh,
on
no.
her laptop, guys.
Our OG homie Mothman first reported in West Virginia in 1967, was it? By some friends going out for a drive. They saw a weird creature standing along the side of the road. The little sketch you see down there is actually the original drawing they depicted of it, the original sketch for what they were describing it. And they reported that it had started following their vehicle, and that even as they began speeding down the street, even as they reached over 100 miles an hour, it's Kelsey, are you doing what I think you're doing?
It's not hard.
Oh, they was still following, it was still keeping up pace of them. And then basically after that, what they did report it to the police, and the police officer they reported it to knew them all, and he believed they're being genuine in what they were citing. And after that initial sighting, it kind of like broke off into mass hysteria of like multiple Mothman calls being reported. And let's see, if you're wondering why the owl's there, yeah, at one point someone shot something that they claimed was Mothman. They claimed they shot Mothman. It was a vagrant snowy owl in West Virginia. So
That sounds illegal.
it is illegal. He technically broke federal law by killing it, but he said he killed Mothman. And eventually the reports abruptly ended when the Silver Bridge collapsed and 46 people died in the accident. And some people thought that Mothman may have been some people claim that Mothman was like a warding of the disaster of what to come, since the Silver Bridge collapsed in the area nearby. And there are still reports on and off to this day, but the peak of them was in the late 60s when it was first reported. And that
Really
little
creepy.
stat, what was that?
It's really creepy. I remember hearing this story. I knew it was connected with a bridge, but I know there's a few of them that are connected with bridges, like Goatman.
Oh man.
Goat man, goat man, goat man's my favorite.
But let's see, the statue of Mothman in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where he's first reported, that statue is something else. Also, I don't know why someone depicted this. That statue is thick. They gave Mothman an ass, and a damn good one at that.
He looks pretty in that one. He looks like a butterfly and he's ripped.
Spiffy.
Oh, I forgot our ratings. 10 out of 10 would fuck Mothman.
Oh no, what do we get for Jersey Devil?
That's like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, he's not too pretty looking, so probably a good 4 out of 10 for me. This one, he's pretty ripped, especially in that one. Yeah, that Kelsey's pointing to. Like that one, I would say an 8 out of 10.
He's got metal.
Yeah, the first one would be lower, like 4 or something.
I like how we have the same ratings, Alex.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I said 8 and then you said 8 and then I forgot you said 4 and I said 4.
All right, and also that T-shirt is a real T-shirt for anyone intrigued.
I want it.
What was the Bigfoot t-shirt that we saw?
Yeah, I saw Kelsey and I were at the store, was it? And we saw a guy with a T-shirt that said "Bigfoot is real" and he tried to eat my ass.
What the fuck? The only dick I would suck is Mothman's.
Honestly, can we?
Kelsey's just.
It's funny because the name Mothman was actually meant to be kind of supposed to be like a ripoff of Batman.
Batman's a ripoff of Mothman, okay?
Exactly. And Next, Flatwoods Monster.
I feel like I've heard of this, but I don't know. What is that creature? What is this?
Flatwoods Monster is
I've
reasonably
never seen
popular.
this.
What?
It's
It
just
looks like-
owls.
It looks like that spirit from Last Airbender that steals your face.
Oh yeah, it does.
I haven't watched Airbender.
The Flatwoods
Alex?
Monster is reasonably popular, so it probably could have like inspired a few designs. And actually, I'll get to that later. The Flatwoods Monster was allegedly first reported in 1955 in Flatwoods, West Virginia. Also, West Virginia, like Mothman, at a reasonably similar time frame. And basically, the story goes that he sees something weird crashing into the woods. They go to investigate with like a mother, her kid, and like a few friends. And then this allegedly 10-foot tall mechanical creature levitating above the ground
The fuck?
comes towards them. They shine their flashlights at it. It like kind of hisses and like starts approaching them, and then they all flee in terror. Pretty freaky, right? Turns out that the particular reason I chose this guy was because this is a cryptid that's largely been discredited. If you're wondering what the picture of the owl in the lower right-hand corner is, they claim that it had glowing eyes. This is also true of the Mothman. Owls have a lot of blood vessels in their eyes, so when you shine lights at them, they have like a very, actually pretty freaky red glow to them. And also the little shape they drew, they said it had an ace of spades shaped head structure. You know what else has a sort of ace of spades shaped head structure? Barn owl. And you know how they said that it screeched at them when it came towards them?
That's what they sound like, right?
Oh, let me show you.
I remember my cousin Vinny, and that thing like scared the crap out of Vinny, and
Ready?
it scared the crap out of me. Like,
You have to
Oh.
be sharing our volume.
Wait, how do I do
Go.
it?
Let me do it.
oh, he looks so happy there. Look at him. He's so cute.
All right, now you can start over. Wait,
Sounds like someone's screaming and static.
Yeah.
the actual thing.
And I can kind of get where the mechanical idea comes from, especially from that screeching sound.
Oh wait,
Either that or like demon screech.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, we have an owl that comes around like once or twice a year, but all it does is whoo, whoo. And my mom always hears it in her bathroom for some odd reason. All the
sounds
places in the
like
house, it's always her bathroom.
but yeah, the Flatwoods Monster has pretty much been discredited because technically the people who saw it, they were trespassing on someone's property. The weird thing they saw going through the sky, there was a meteor that people knew was going through the area and were traveling around the area. So it wasn't some weird spacecraft. They knew there was a meteor passing through that area that night. And also the screech can be an owl screech. And also it had believe me, if something comes at you out of the dark, like flying at you, it's going to look way bigger than it actually is. So
This reminds me of like a Scooby-Doo episode, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But also meets Courage the Cowardly Dog, because these two people, they definitely look like Muriel and the old man.
the family made national news at the time of this. And to basically add the cherry on top of disproving the incident, one of the boys who reported it, who was there, who like helped formulate the depiction, he said he was literally reading like a science fiction comic book which had like an alien race depicted in it that looked similar to this. So like just a little bit earlier before this report happened. So yeah, Flatwoods unfortunately they haven't been encouraged. That's like a mother and son, my dude.
Oh.
Your ratings are so low. I think she's kind of cute.
That's
You
what I
think
mean.
she's
So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give
maybe
her a
I'll put it
7.
up a bit higher then. I don't know.
Also,
No,
the
I
screeching
feel
is
like-
kinky. I'm into it.
It's just the fact that she came out of nowhere and is like screeching at you. I feel like she's the kind that it's gonna be freaky in bed, but either a good way or a bad
was
way.
what's
so
up.
kind of
She's
torn.
ready.
It's like you're not sure if you're enjoying it or not, but you're never gonna forget it.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, a
Yeah,
5
I'm
out of
like
10.
in the middle about it. Like it's kind of cute, but it's kind of creepy.
I'd fuck it once, just for the experience.
Let's see if you survive that.
Just once. You ready?
Yep. Oh no.
I'm on it.
All right, so there are way too many sea and or lake monsters, so I just decided I would have some brevity and just kind of talk about all of them. So OG Loch Ness, you probably see Kelsey. You see the most famous picture of it, the surgeon photo in the upper right-hand corner. First of all, why you shouldn't trust that image. Surgeon was not in fact a surgeon. He was a gynecologist. So that's
What? I just a gynecologist.
and also, Loch Ness Monster, the first big report, started coming out in 1933. You know what else came out in 1933? The original King Kong, which had this dinosaur boy who looks suspiciously similar to what you see in that picture right there. And the people who first reported seeing the Loch Ness Monster literally said that they saw King Kong before they did the initial reporting. And basically, after however many further sightings, it led to a taking on the shape of a kind of prehistoric plesiosaur type creature. And I feel like a lot of other lake monsters have a similar appearance, like the one that has the big old red arrow at it that Carla drew. That's Champ, allegedly supposed to be found in Lake Champlain in Vermont. And that picture has now largely been attributed to being a piece of driftwood. And the one with big tadpole thing, that is also a hoax picture. I just put in a picture of a big manta ray to show a picture of an actually big ocean critter. And I swear, like every time a very decomposed dead whale or shark winds up on the beach or someone finds it, there's always someone who claims it's a sea monster. And it's so frustrating because I know like not everyone's a marine biologist, but I would like to believe some people have some awareness of marine life, especially in this time. Like there was a dead whale in Indonesia like 2 years ago, and people are just like, is it a sea monster? Is it like they didn't know what it was? It was a dead whale, big dead thing in ocean, probably whale. It made me very upset.
I've seen several posts too where people are like thinking, or like I don't know if it was people in the past or like more recent stuff, but it was saying like some of the like sea monster and stuff stories was debunked by people just seeing whale penises and not knowing what it is, like a whale rowing over and seeing the penis.
Yeah, I think I saw that too.
But also,
Yes.
since a lot of
Sorry,
them, no, I was just gonna say, since a lot of them do look like prehistoric animals, is it possible, and I'm saying possible, that there are prehistoric animals out there that we just don't know about, because we only know of like a fraction of the sea and what's out there, you know?
Oh, Carla, you got yourself in some dangerous territory, my friend.
I
But
know.
I will say that as much as I would love there still being a relic plesiosaur or other mosasaur in modern times, that is unfortunately highly unlikely because there haven't been any fossils found of them since, when fossils would occur reasonably often, and also because by and large their niches were overtaken by marine mammals instead. They would probably have a very limited niche, and they were still air-breathing creatures, so they would still need to come up and breathe every now and then. So I would feel like we would have to have seen, like there are still like some really elusive big deep sea animals that we still see from time to time. So I feel like we would still have some ability to witness these creatures if they were around. Like
It took a while for us to find giant squid.
yeah, that's true, but giant squid don't come up to breathe air. And also plesiosaurs, since they were reptiles, they would be restricted to like warm tropical waters most likely.
Is it possible that there was a specific type of maybe creature that is out there that looks like this, maybe is smaller, possibly bigger and does not breathe air?
It's theoretical. Like they did eDNA sampling, basically taking water samples to find DNA in the water of Loch Ness. And they found that there was a lot of eel DNA in Loch Ness. So they theorized that a whole bunch of eels swimming at the surface or a large eel like kind of rising out of the water could give the appearance of Earth's basis of some of the Loch Ness sightings.
I like the idea of just like a bunch of eels just coming together and doing like a Power Rangers move, and it's just like, we are Mega Eel, aka Loch Ness. Woo.
I would love that so much, and I think sometimes seals end up in Loch Ness. So some people theorize that maybe a string of seals swimming together could be like the cause of some sea monster sightings or reports of them. And also basking sharks. I put the basking shark in particular, which Kelsey oh so pleasantly drew a phallus inside its mouth.
Those ones are crazy.
Because those guys, the way, since they're big and they decompose in a really interesting manner, a lot of their carcasses have been associated with sea monsters on bismuth when they are, in fact, dead shark boys. All right, so would you guys want to fuck a rotting piece of whale flesh that people thought was a sea monster?
The way you put it that way, I'm like,
I'm saying 0 out of 10 because I think most of these would not be sentient and like fully. I don't think they could consent. So 0.
okay.
Well,
I think they'd be more animal-like.
consent-wise, it may go lower, but generally like 6 or so. But
Kelsey, you just made me feel like now I can like want like bestiality or something.
Kelsey just did that to me.
yeah, no,
too.
I had a number, and then Kelsey made me be like, wait, can they not consent?
All right, so I'm gonna get rid of those. I'm gonna do
All right,
a
you heard
solid
from Carly
negative
herself. She said
15.
fucking monsters. Carly loves
Yeah.
fucking monsters.
All right, let's not do that.
What are you talking about? I like how I shamed everybody into 0.
Negative 15.
I feel like this is one where there might be more like things we don't know about in the ocean, but there's also probably a lot of sightings, air
That's
quotes,
what, like a
that
lot of
aren't
them.
that are just like things we actually know about.
No, there are definitely things that, like, there have definitely been some genuinely weird ocean occurrences. Like, there were giant suction cups found on a submarine at one point that do not match the size of any nosed squid. So there's definitely weird shit down
Probably
in the
just
ocean.
see bigger squid. I'm convinced that every time we go looking, we will find a bigger squid. There's always a bigger squid.
Oh God, I hope so. I love big
But
squid.
But that's
that's
why I
what I
would
mean.
fuck them, because
No.
I feel like if they were real, they'd just be animals. And like, I'm not gonna fuck a squid.
Not
That's
even
what
with
I
the
feel like there's a
tentacles.
lot of things we don't know about in the ocean, but I also feel like there's a good amount of like sea monster occurrences where it's just like, you know, another animal we know about, or like an animal body part that most
So-
people didn't recognize as a body part of that animal.
So here at Drunk College, we do not condone bestiality of any form, whether it be live mammals or creatures of the sea. We do
Wait,
not
have-
condone it at all.
Yeah.
Have you guys
This
heard?
Or any fucking of anything that is dead.
Have we discussed
This
Captain
is
Jack
just
Harkness?
theoretical rating system. We do not condone fucking any of these, whether they are real or not.
It is.
Have we discussed the Captain Jack Harkness rule in Scooby Doo?
No.
There's a rule about fucking like fictional monsters that it's okay as long as they're sexually mature for their species and like capable of like talking so that they can give verbal consent. Those are like the criteria. And so technically Scooby-Doo fits under the criteria of things you can fuck.
I feel like now we need to have a rating list for Scooby Doo now.
I mean, we did, but not that kind of rating.
We can always do another one.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
There's a rule. There's just a rule 34 for everything. Can you fuck anything?
I mean, technically you could fuck a ghost, but
What's wrong with this
I mean-
cow?
I mean, there's incubus and succubus.
yeah.
All right, so chupacabras. In case you're wondering, I chose not to include the American Southwest depiction of chupacabras because like 90% of the time when people report something, it's just a poor coyote or raccoon with mange. And
Okay.
so I chose the original chupacabra that was first reported in Puerto Rico in 1995 with
When the
a
dick was too big.
I can't think about a word, the comment that I wanted to make. I had a joke, but it was not coming out correctly.
But a whole bunch of animals appeared to be dying, and people didn't know what was killing them.
Again, Kelsey, we do not condone bestiality.
And let's see, the Puerto Rican chupacabras, I feel, looked way more terrifying than the American Southwest and Mexican depictions of chupacabras. Like, shit, I'm going to dematerialize. I see that coming at me. I'm freaked out. And basically, it's believed that chupacabras go and hunt animals and drain the blood from them as they feed. And in case you're wondering what the Patagonian Mara in the upper right-hand corner is, well, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no, what'd I do?
You're on annotate. Just get off of annotate.
And so in case you're wondering what the Patagonian Mara that Alex saw was cute in the upper right-hand corner too, you know how I was saying how people are really silly about identifying animals sometimes? Someone thought that was a chupacabra. He got out in Oregon and someone thought he was a chupacabra, which, I mean, I get not everyone knows what a Patagonian Mara is, but a chupacabra? What? And
I don't know what the animal is either. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go chupacabra, but I'd be like, what is that thing?
Kind of looks like one of those jackalopes.
Yeah, it almost looks
I
like
thought.
something along like that, or like kangaroo, or like, I mean, like something in that like kind of family. That I'm like,
yeah, Patagonian Maras are relatives of guinea pigs.
Oh, by the way,
I had guinea pig.
I love guinea pigs.
if a kangaroo ever tries to lead you into a body of water, or you see a kangaroo in body water, do not go into the body of water with a kangaroo.
Kangaroos can swim, they'll drown you.
Yeah, they will literally drown you. They
That's
come up with
concerning.
inventive ways to kill you.
So kangaroos are murderous?
Yeah, just like Hera.
There's no way that's a surprise, Alex. There's no
Hera.
way that's a surprise.
They look murderous. I fucking hate kangaroos.
I don't know if I knew that. You know, this was just a couple weeks ago, but my mom said something about like how great dolphins are or something, and I'm like, dolphins are assholes, and she's like, what? No, they're not. I'm like, they rape and kill things for fun, and she like didn't believe me and had to go Google it, and then was like, I guess you're right, and like what, and like didn't know any about that, and was like mildly concerned. I'm like, yeah, they're assholes. Like, I sit through science presentations, and one of my friends is in marine science. I know they're assholes.
Also, I was trying to find pictures of dead animals allegedly killed by the chupacabra, and I came to realize that searching for pictures of dead animals could give my FBI agents an unsettled feeling. So I decided, because I could use this as a plug to also fit in cattle mutilations, which are other weird occurrences that happen. And so basically, they're cattle or other livestock that are dead. They don't show like signs of like being shot or poisoned or things like that. They're just dead, and they usually have various soft tissues like their lips and their eyes and certain organs almost like surgically removed from them. And here's an article that there's actually, Kelsey, cut the screen please. There has actually been cattle mutilations happening
Still on annotate.
happening in Oregon this year, and it's still not.
That's really weird that it's still going on. I thought it was just an event that happened for like 1 or 2 times, but it's still going on.
No, it's been happening. Like, the ranchers are like genuinely concerned. Like, it's been investigated by the federal government for cattle mutilations because they do not know like what's killing them. Like, it's been pitched that people could do it, but like they're not shot or anything like that. And it'd be hard to just have like surgical materials with you out in like ranches like that.
Yeah,
And, like-
and how would you not have a drop of blood anywhere near the scene? You know what I mean? You would have to like hang them up, like try to get all that blood out, and that would take hours.
And also the ranchers, they said the lands around where the cow died was like very crumbly, but they saw like no tracks around it. Like, it was just like dead there.
So I'm guessing
I just hit
aliens?
myself in the face.
Honestly, aliens is one of the leading theories by people who like have to experience this. Like, they say like it's traumatizing seeing that because you're just like, how did this happen?
Yeah, I don't want to go out west ever. I'm safe in my house. I don't want to go.
All right, so how are we? Oh wait, I wasn't done quite yet.
Just did it on
Goat man,
presentation.
Alex.
Wait, Goldman was next?
Oh yeah.
Wait, hold on.
He
We
almost
didn't
didn't
do the rate.
include Goat Man, and I yelled at him.
All right, what's the fucking rating for the chupacabra though?
None for me. It's negative for everything ever since bestiality was mentioned.
The chupacabra. Who said the chupacabra wasn't sentient?
That looks like there's some intelligence in its eyes. I'm gonna give it
Okay.
a 2.
You see, I feel like it's too spiky for me.
See, I thought those could be fun.
Blood won't be the only thing he's sucking. Wink.
But also, didn't they consider the chupacabra possibly the idea of it is connected to vampires or bats or something?
I mean, they do drink. They are said to drink blood. So
Why does he look like an alien, like a reptile? That's not what I thought.
the American Southwest chupacabras look kind of like hairless dogs, or like sometimes it's depicted with spines. But you know,
Yeah,
I
like
was
a
just
coyote.
I switched to 3 before Carly posted her thing, and I was like, eh.
yeah, they sometimes look like dogs with like hairless dogs and the American Southwest depictions. But you know why they look like that a lot? Because they usually are hairless animals when they are said to be caught and all that.
It's honestly weird that all of these are around the mouth. It's
Yeah,
odd.
that's another thing, because scavengers don't touch these animals after they're killed. Like, it's just certain tissues removed from them and nothing else.
That's really weird because you would think they would automatically go for like the gut where everything's good and stuff, but it's not
Yeah,
even touched.
That's why, like, some of the people have this happen to their animals. They say, no, this isn't like wolves or mountain lions or bears. Like, they would usually carnivores, like, they eat like some of the internal organs first. They don't just touch. And also, there'd be like marks on the neck or something like that.
Yeah, that one would be like torn alive if that was like killed by wolves or something. They would literally tear it apart.
Go, man. So I will be honest, as written here, there were not enough pictures of Goatman, and I'm sorry, but I didn't want to reuse the same picture all. And Goatman was first reported in the 1970s, and it has been most prominently reported within a certain area of Maryland. And I know Kelsey loves Goatman, but Goatman sounds kind of like a dick because apparently he has a penchant for killing dogs out of nowhere.
Oh god.
You know, a guy's gotta eat.
He doesn't eat the dogs. I thought I heard he throws them in highways and stuff like that. And he chases cars with axes.
I'm sure he has his reasons. It's understood.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know,
I can-
if I feel like going after a car, you know, with a battle axe, you know, that's fine. That's none of their business. It's all mine.
Okay, I can understand chasing a car with an axe. That may be relatable sometimes. Killing dogs?
Yeah, that's a little out there.
Uh,
Sorry, Goatman. Hope you're not listening.
yeah,
If you are, I'm
that's
sorry.
one of the Goatman theories is that it was a scientist at like I think an animal agriculture lab nearby, or an animal lab of sorts, and he accidentally mutated like himself into like some half goat, half human creature.
This is like some Frankenstein shit, except that it didn't happen to a monster. It happened to him. Whoa.
Yeah, a few Goatman theories. And apparently it's been like just a very popular for like just like a local urban legend story for people living in the areas where it's been sighted. I do think every now and then there are sightings that continue to come in, but I think the heyday of it was like in the 70s. All right, so how are y'all feeling not fucking Goatman?
I don't know. He kills dogs. We already know Kelsey's answer. It's gotta be high up there.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 because I don't want to objectify Goatman. I want to take Goatman on a nice date.
Okay. Yeah,
I
what
want to
about
objectify
axes?
Mothman.
So Mothman is the beefcake.
I'm dancing on your bridge.
Alex, what does that mean?
You've never seen the video? I'm dancing on your bridge, Goatman.
There's like a BuzzFeed ghost hunting
I'm
video where
disrespecting
the one
you.
guy's trying to antagonize him, and the one guy's like paranoid about it, and he's like, don't like say anything that pisses him off, and he's like, fuck you, Goatman, like I'm dancing on your bridge, Goatman.
Is this
and
the
like,
BuzzFeed Unsolved, guys?
Yeah.
yes.
That's how you guys knew about Goatman. I was
Yeah.
like, people know Goatman now?
Yeah, we saw the
They were
clips
like
of
trying
that.
to disrespect Goatman. And he was like, I'm dancing on your bridge, like fuck you, like everything Alex said. It was
Yeah.
great.
There was like the one guy that actually like believed in some of the paranormal stuff, and the other guy was like, "This shit isn't real," and then was just saying whatever he wanted.
Hold on, what the
Also,
fuck
I
is
feel like
this?
that picture in the lower right-hand corner, like, I feel like that picture shows up for so many cryptids and creepypastas. I
It
don't
looks
even-
like
Yeah.
Slender Man.
I feel like that
I've
thing
seen
comes
this.
from a creepypasta.
No.
Oh my god, I can't remember what I've seen. The rake. That's what
Yeah,
it's
I think
called.
that's what it
The
comes
rake.
from.
That's what I've seen it for.
I don't like this. Ah,
I don't like it either, but I had to fill in picture space and it came up. I was like, all right.
Yeah, 'cause there was a whole game. Like there was a Bigfoot game, and then there was one on the rake, and I think that was the picture for it. Like the little lower right-hand corner one. Snuggie?
yeah. Remember from
So-
South Park?
Oh, orange
Snuggie
skin.
wants
Didn't see that.
So Dover Demon was first reported in April 1977 in Dover, Massachusetts. And basically it goes, guy driving at night, he sees on I believe a rock wall along the side of the road, a creature with tendril-like fingers, bright orange eyes. He said there was no mouth or nose or ears or any external structures like that.
No.
And it was kind of just clambering along the wall. And then there were two other sightings, little did he know, that filtered in later that night. And they were all the only sightings were reported over a span of 2 nights, and the area where they reported, it was along a 2-mile stretch of road. And after that, there haven't been any further sightings. And the guy who reported the initial sighting, he says that he definitely saw something weird. He doesn't know what he saw, and he says he's almost like kind of embarrassed about it, because like on Halloween, people like prank call him to ask if he's seen it and stuff like that. Like he just gets teased about it these days. It's upsetting. He's like 47 now. Like, give him a break. But definitely pretty spooky. And allegedly the stretch of road, the area where it has been reported, has been host to other weird happenings in years past. So craziness, crazy stuff. I don't really know how much further to add, but anyone want to fuck Dover Demon?
No.
He's like kind of cute, but
He's got long fingers.
I would have to do it in the pitch dark. I'm sorry. I could not see. No.
he's kind of cute, but he doesn't have a mouth, so that sounds boring.
I'm sorry, dude.
Why would anyone want long fingers? Like,
To gently caress with and give a nice massage.
I don't even need like hitting my cervix.
I just almost off my bed throwing Cheetos on the desk. Alex, what?
Why were you throwing Cheetos?
Because I had a bag of Cheetos that I was eating, and then I tried to put them on my desk, but it was a bit far.
I thought you meant like throwing the individual Cheetos. I thought you were playing
No, I was-
games.
I
I
thought there
was
was a
taking
comment
the
that I
bag
made.
off my desk.
I don't think Chester the cheetah would approve.
That was like my drunk snack, but then I have a few. Like it's like one of those things where like I eat a few, and then I'm like, okay, like I'm full, and then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, I'm drunk, I want food.
Also,
I guess Leah's
love
not.
how-
I
I
don't
love
know
Sorry,
how
Brandon.
Leah.
in the newspaper clipping, if you look below the creature reporting, you see an article that says Olivia's riding high, and I don't know what that's meant to mean, but regardless.
I've noticed a lot of these are in like where we live, like in the Northeast.
I wanted to choose cryptids that were kind of like,
That's not a cryptid.
I didn't know, I just thought I had to mention aliens. I had to feel like I had to mention them somehow.
Okay, so this pisses me off
What?
because aliens, just in general, specifically ancient aliens. Because do you know how many times out of the day where people know that I went to school for anthropology with a concentration in archaeology, and as soon as they hear archaeology, they're like, "Oh my god, you should watch Ancient Aliens. You'll love
That's why I
that
wrote
show."
no.
Yeah, that is pseudo archaeology. That is very different from archaeology. Like even my one professor, I think I told Alex this. Alex, are you laying on the ground?
Yes, I moved to the floor.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, I really do. Hope she's alright.
I'm fine. I just wanted to be on the floor for a bit.
But
Alex,
she's-
I want to lay on my stomach.
please be okay, Alex. Don't do anything
I'm-
crazy.
I'm fine.
My one professor will bartend
I'm
on the
very conscious right now.
my one professor will bartend on the weekend, and as soon as people ask her like, "Oh, you're a professor, what do you teach?" She's like, oh, I'm an archaeologist, and they're like, oh, either ancient aliens, and they will like go after her about it, and they're like, they'll try to prove her wrong, even though she has 8+ years in this like field. It's like, are you serious? Like, you seriously going off of just like watching a season or two of Ancient Aliens, like trying to prove her wrong? Or it's along the lines of like, oh, like, so you work with dinosaurs? That's another big one for her.
I've seen
Paleontology.
Ancient Aliens though, and it's like the stupidest show ever.
It is.
Like it's
Yeah.
usually like my dad or someone that throws it on the TV, and I'm like, why are we watching?
It's like total nonsense for a majority of it, and then they mentioned something that is kind of weird, but at the same time there is probably explained to some regard in a textbook somewhere.
Yeah, like they're either making it like they're either exaggerating it a bit, or like it's explained somewhere and they're just avoiding that information.
Also, there are
I-
probably other things that haven't been explained yet that we don't know about, and there are also a lot of other things that they just don't know how to explain. You know, like they're still trying to figure out how they built the pyramids. I mean, I think they have the majority of it figured out.
They have a
but
basis of it, like a general idea, but
yeah.
Yeah, I guess aliens don't technically count under cryptids. I thought it should make like just some nod, but yeah, I do know. Didn't the government say something like about reporting some UFOs or something like that, or something weird? I don't fully remember, or at least acknowledging that there have been weird objects reported.
So they have acknowledged it without acknowledging it. So they've said that we have evidence or we have videos that we cannot explain, but they will not say that it's actually aliens because I don't even think they know, and even if they do know, they're not going to say. They're just
or they're just lying.
Yeah.
I honestly should have titled it just UFOs instead. That probably would have been better, but that's a mistake I made.
It's all good.
And I think we're coming up. Yes! I'm pretty sure this is like the last one I've got for.
Ooh. Oh, I love him.
Yeah, I've
He's
known
so
this
cute.
one.
Hopkinsville goblins. Aren't you glad I switched this out from Mongolian Deathworm?
I still want to hear about them.
I would do an honorable mentions at the end of this. Basically, 1955, 5 adults, 7 kids living in like a little house in Kentucky. And they say there are these little beady boys who come down and they just start approaching the house. And even though they shoot at them multiple times, the gunshot appears to have no effect on them. And the mayhem lasts through the night. Things get shot over and over again. Basically, every window in the house gets shot out. And by the end of it, the family is so shaken that they end up moving, but there isn't really any there wasn't really any strong evidence left over from the encounter. And there are
I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say there hasn't been any reporting like this since it happened.
Maybe they were just involved with gangs or something, and they didn't really want to specify that they were involved with gangs. Like maybe they were doing like, obviously this was not before math, but maybe they had like a huge crack house or something, and like it was like gang war, and they didn't want to say it, so they're just like, oh, these goblins came out of nowhere.
Honestly, this case is very widely dismissed to this day. Like some people will admit it was weird, but it's like by and large dismissed as just like some freak not freak incident, as just kind of almost like pseudoscience, like not really having any foundation supporting the claim. But we got to kind of keep cryptid out of it. So we got that. All right. Anyway, who wants to fuck the Hopkinsville goblin?
I don't know, because it kind of looks like a child to me.
Not that one.
Like this guy on the left, like.
We're not specifically going for children.
I'm just saying I would.
It's a monster though. It's not a child.
But it looks like a child. Like I wouldn't want to fuck that.
All right, can you stop shaming us?
I'm not shaming you. I'm giving you my opinion, and it's my opinion.
I only put mine like 1 above you because I'm like, it's still a monster.
I'll give him 4 out of 10. It's like he's cute, but he looks like a little baby. Like I just want to take him out for ice cream.
That actually, yeah, that'd be cute.
Although the one on the right's kind of ripped.
We didn't rate the last one, which I already forgot what it was, but
Aliens? Oh, I'd
Yeah.
fuck aliens. Like 8, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I
What
guess
kind of
since it's
alien?
not like UFOs, we couldn't really get a.
preference. Yeah, probably around 7, 8-ish.
It depends on what kind of aliens you're talking about. Are you talking
Yeah,
about
that's what I mean. I feel like 8-ish is maybe 7 is like solid
because
for
you got
most,
like
but
you got the gray aliens, and you also have the ones that are the Norse aliens and shit. So if you all have ever heard about them,
I don't think I have.
it's it's this common theory that there are these people who live up in like Sweden and Norway, but they're very nice, but they look just like you, but they are like very pale. They're really tall. They're like over 6 feet, like 7, 8 feet tall, and there's somehow aliens or some shit, and they have like piercing blonde hair, and I think blue eye, like really blue eyes. And I'm just like, you're describing every freaking Scandinavian person, but okay. But they live like really north though.
I was about to say like halfway through that description, I'm like, so are you an alien?
I don't know. I'm not 6 feet tall, so I don't
Like
know.
the general description of like the blonde and everything, I'm like, that's fairly close to you.
I'm kind of an alien too, by that definition, but Kelsey already thinks I'm kind of an alien, so.
Why are you an alien?
Oh, you think I'm a larval version of Mothman? That's what Kelsey thinks I am.
Yeah.
I think that was actually the last one that I had. Let me double check. Yeah. All right. This is where we leave off. I would like to say the honorable mentions for cryptids I wanted to include, but decided not to include the Toronto tunnel monster, the Mongolian death worm. I consider doing something acknowledging the weird sea monster carcasses, alleged sea monster carcasses, but it's just like I'll cover those in the sea monster slide. And I'm trying to think if there are any. I know some people maybe. What?
Bigfoot.
I was gonna say I know some people are gonna be disappointed that I didn't do Bigfoot, but everyone knows Bigfoot, and I feel like I want to do like some lesser known cryptids.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like Bigfoot can kind of be a bit more easily dismissed.
Yeah.
You could easily have someone dress up in a gorilla costume or something and just parade around the forest, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So
That was one I just mentioned now more out of like, that was one I know of that you didn't mention, and I was just curious.
There's also the Bigfoot's cousin, the Yeti. That's, I feel like, more interesting.
Well, like any of those, there's like several names for that. Like the like Yeti, Bigfoot. There's like some like swamp something. Like there's a bunch of names for
Thing,
Bigfoot.
which is DC Comics.
No, but there's another name because I watched Finding Bigfoot when I was younger. But there's like 5 different names for it.
Okay.
I just chose not to do the Bigfoot type cryptids because I thought it's really not that much of a stretch to imagine a human type creature with just more hair. Like that's kind of
That just sounds like Kelsey's type.
She was trying to get me to grow out facial hair at one point, so
We gave up on that.
there was someone
Oh,
hit me.
Skunk Ape is one of them. That might have been the one I was thinking of.
Mike said, you know what? Mike said he wanted to fuck Skunk Ape. We were like out in the woods at night, and I said something like about how I thought I heard something rustling, and then Mike turns to me and said, "Brandon, I ain't exactly a huge fan of the dark either." And then Mike tried to make himself feel more comfortable. He said, "You know what? These cryptids, I ain't out here with these cryptids. These cryptids are out here with me. I'm going to see them, and I'm going to be hungry," or something like that.
Yeah, Bigfoot's one that has a name like a lot of different places. Like when I was just googling it, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yowie, Skunk Ape, and then there's just like
Yowie is the Australian one. The Yaren's the one
there's like
I don't know.
That's what I mean. There's like depending on they're all the same thing, but depending on the location, they all have different names. I've heard like several different names for Bigfoot.
All right, so I guess that is a little overview of some cryptids. I hope you all had a bang good time. Anyone got any questions?
No.
I'm too drunk for that.
Was that
Hey,
all?
I'm just grateful that you included the Jersey Devil.
How could I not? Have to represent. Chelsea, make a threat.
If you don't subscribe, I'll send my boyfriend after you, by which I mean Mothman.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. This has been one of our Halloween series. I'm or episodes for our series, and have a good night. Hopefully you didn't take Kelsey's threat too seriously, but I mean, maybe you should. So have
Have
a
a
spooky
spectacular night.
time. Oh.
Bye.
And boom.